Buddy. Uh, just thought I'd do some unmolding today. Just poured some small stuff yesterday. Just continuing to try to build up some stock. All of these, the keychains and earrings, I'm probably going to have to take home because I would have to literally sit up here for hours putting the little connector things and everything on for the keychains and stuff like that, especially the earrings. They're a little harder to work with because they're so small. So yeah, give everybody a little time to come in. Hello, Joy. How are you, honey? Good to have you in here. I just said I poured some little stuff yesterday, so I thought I'd wait till a few people come in and do some unmolding, see how stuff turned out. I did a couple cutting boards the other day, and I'm not sure they turned out very well, so I may have to redo those. You're at work. Well, I get that. Work has to be done, huh? Hello, Liz. Good to have you in here. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start. Some of this stuff was just earrings, some letters that I use for just like little keychains, stuff like that. Did some purple ones. I had some purple resin. And actually I just mixed up a bunch of, did a couple of these. I had mixed up a pretty good sized batch of the resin yesterday and poured it and just put it in just small cups like this and added different colors. And then I did gold ones like this. Overly special, just little earrings. People like different colors, different shapes and designs. So, but yeah, I may have to take all of this stuff home and do that stuff at home because it takes a good while to put the connectors on, like the earrings and the keychains and stuff, because you're working with, of course, tiny little things like that. You know, got to connect all that stuff together. So it takes some time. Then I did, these are just kind of clear and they got little red sparkle stuff in it. Yeah, I actually am planning on selling them. I'm not sure. There's people that have mentioned to me about doing like an Etsy shop or some kind of thing online. And right now I'm just basically waiting for our craft stuff to start here in town whenever it gets warm. Hello, Reds. It's good to have you in here. Just unmolding some stuff that I poured yesterday, some resin stuff. These will be earrings when they're done. Like I said, they're just clear with some red sparkles in them. You can't see the sparkles very well, I know. But, yep, so I'm molding a lot of this stuff. Some like this. And then these are like the ones that I sent Be Okay for Christmas. Hers was a few different colors. These are just clear and sparkly, so yeah, those are just easy ones. And then I just did these. Yeah. Like I've said before, just trying to get some stock build up. And of course, I did a domino set. These are all dominoes. The same thing, just the red, clear, sparkly. And then I will take, I have a white paint pen, and I will go in. Actually, I might do these with the silver. Let me see what that, of course, once it's on there, so we're taking a chance. Maybe not. That doesn't show up very well. Let's see if I can. Hello, Fluffy Diva. Good to have you in here, honey. Make sure you guys all thumbs up on there, and yep. So we did it in white. So there's one of the dominoes. So, yeah, I've got a whole set here. So it's just taking those out and filling in the little holes with the pen. So you can see the numbers with it being clear with just some little red sparkles in it would make it a little bit difficult. So there's one. So you can see those. They got just a little red sparkle in it. I think the first couple sets of dominoes that I ever made, my grandkids just went absolutely crazy over them. And of course they all ended up with them. So this is my first set that hopefully I can hang on to and try to come up with some kind of little box to put them in whenever I sell them. So, yeah, I'm just unmolding a bunch of stuff right now. I'll get to all the other fancy schmancy stuff later. So, there's those. I'll probably do another set of those. And then I did a bunch of just the letters in the clear resin with this red sparklies. I know girls tend to like those sometimes, you know, you get your initial. There'll be little keychains. There's an A. So, I was going to show you be okay, but yeah, I didn't do a K, I ran out. So I just, with each of the letters like this or things like this that I do. Hello, Ms. TT, how are you, honey? Good to have you in here. With these, basically, I have a tiny little drill, so I just drill a little hole in there and then put a connector thing in and put a keychain on it. Yep. So yeah, I told my husband I'd probably have to stick a bunch of these in a box or something and take them home and sit there and do them at home whenever I'm not really doing much of anything, because I don't really sit up here for hours. Whenever I'm at home, I can get stuff done at home and still be able to work on these whenever I have time. But it's better than leaving them sit up here, because I come up here and my mind tends to wander onto everything else that I could make. I actually have some new stuff that I'm wanting to try. I don't know that I'll get to that today. Now these are different. I've never made any of these, but I've had the mold for quite a while. They're rings. These are, of course, bigger, so those are men's sizes. Just rings for your fingers. Now, whenever I just did a bunch of the blue yesterday for men's sizes. I have smaller sizes for ladies, and a lot of times with the ladies, Kevin is over here laying down right now. He likes to come up here with me simply because he likes to go bye-bye, but he gets bored up here very easily. So, yeah, he usually just goes off and lays down somewhere, waits for me to get done with everything. Everybody's wondering where you're at. Come here. Come here. And say hi to everybody. Say hi, guys. Hi, guys. You say hi. Thank you. Oh. I gave him, he always knows he gets a cookie whenever he first comes up here. So, yeah, a few minutes ago, he was off burying his cookie somewhere. It gets rather interesting to find where the cookie is sometimes. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Some of these, oh, maybe all of them do. Yep, looks like they all do. Nope, not all of them. Maybe one side does and the other side, oh, okay. So, like I said, this is the first time I've made the rings, and let me tell you, it was hard to get that resin down inside there because you've got just a teeny tiny little area, so you have to go around and kind of pull it like that to put your resin in there. And thank goodness for gloves because I had it everywhere yesterday. But I just realized that some of these, the texture on the outside is smooth, and then other ones have, I'm not sure if you can see that, almost like a pattern to them on the outside. I don't know if the light's catching that to see that. So, hello, Myri, honey. How are you, love? It's good to have you in here, darling. I'm just doing a bunch of unmolding stuff that I poured yesterday. I did one of these before as well. Of course, it didn't turn out so well. But we'll see how this one turns out. This is a little stand for the bottom. And then it has a little heart. I put a little rose and another heart and some butterflies in there. And then it has the word love. This is always the fun part, trying to get some of this stuff unmolded, because especially when you have like things like this, the parts that don't get the resin, sometimes they tend to want to stick. So it makes it a little fun trying to get them out of those little tiny holes. So then you have the word love. See, and then this will fit inside the stand like that. And then you add a little chain onto here. There's a little hole up here. And then this just kind of dangles down there. So that's a cute little thing there. And that one actually turned out very good. So I just got to get the chain put on that one. Okay, and then we did, let me grab these. 2 cutting boards, and I was very happy with them when I first poured them. Not so much now because things kind of traveled on me a little bit as they were drying. So we'll have to try it again. But this is one of them. You see the little butterfly back here in the back. I had all of the flowers and everything were along the sides of the butterfly. It's very difficult to see the butterfly. It's just like one of those temporary tattoo things, is what I put the butterfly on. And then I actually have packs of the dried flowers, and I had them out around it. But then, of course, when I came up the next morning, everything had kind of traveled into the center. So they're not horrible. They're just not as good as what I had hoped they would turn out. But they are still pretty. And still usable. And still food safe. So we'll make a couple more of those. Try to figure out how to get everything to stay where it belongs. This one here has a bigger butterfly on it. Looks like the butterfly, and on one side it looks like the butterfly is kind of hiding in the flowers and stuff. So that one didn't turn out too awful bad. And then I did another one of my trinket boxes. Just kind of mixed several different colors together. You want a cutting board with pork boss on it? You got it. You got it. If you're serious, I will make you one that says pork boss on it. What color do you want it? You want it pink, really, Trini? With pork boss on it. Okay. Hey, whatever you want. I aim to please, so I will make you a pink one. With pork boss on it. Yes, I will. And then this is the one side of it. Trini, honey, where are you from? I think you've said it before, maybe in Red's room or something, but I can't remember where you said for sure you were from. I have to turn that around right. This is the other part. And then they fit together like that. And then I will glue that up on the top. Just a little trinket box. Living in Finland. That might take some shipping, but if you're serious, I will make you a cutting board. I know you like your cooking, and I will make you a cutting board with in pink with pork boss on it. I will find the letters. I will do whatever I have to do. Yeah. So I think, oh, no, I got a few other things. Let me I'm gonna glue this on here real quick. Now I use the E6000 to glue stuff on. That way when it dries. Now if it's something I'm going to give somebody pretty quick, I'll use hot glue to put it on so I get an immediate hold. But we're not in any big hurry with anything right now, so yeah. Now sometimes these little holes here, let me see if I can find, give me 1 second, guys. Kind of give you an idea of what I do with some of them, just to kind of dress them up a little bit. Can you see that? I put a little diamond in there. I know it's a little hard to see that, but all these little holes around the outside edges, I put little diamonds in just to kind of dress it up a little bit. Yeah, so I might do that with this one, just to add a little bit of color to it. So, you know, I'm messing with it after gluing it, and my lid's kind of sliding everywhere on me. Gotta not play with it till I know it's dry. It actually has, on the inside, they have like a little lip type thing that fits together. If you don't get it right on that lip, it doesn't go together very well. So you gotta just kind of keep twisting it till it's, yeah. I did, let me see if I can show you here. I did these the other day. This was another one that I did. Might dress that one up a little bit too. And then I did a horse like this. This is the horse one. So that was my first one of the horses that I did. For some goofy reason, though, he's wanting to bow on me, and I don't know why. And since I have it right here, I'll show you guys what I do to fix that. Heat gun. Love these things. So whenever you have an issue like that, I've had things like this that, well, other things that I've made that have laid out in the sun and literally bowed on me because it got hot. So that's the easiest way to fix something that bows on you, is heat it up with a heat gun and just lay it on a flat surface, put it where you need it, and then let it cool back down, and as it cools back down, it will get hard again, and then it won't bow on you. Now it's flat. So yeah, that's pretty simple. I love my heat gun. I spent good money on that one to get a good heat gun. And then this was the other thing I did. These will also be keychains. Did some more of the little flowers. So these are all just get my little drill thing out and put a little hole in it so I could put the little connectors on it. I love doing like the flowers and stuff like that. There's so many of these that you can just kind of experiment with the different colors. That's a red with a gold on the inside. It's got some sparkle in the red. Oh, all my glitter that I put in kind of fell to the bottom, which is a good thing because I don't know if you guys can see that. All the glitter fell to the bottom of the mold because it sat in the mold like this and made all the petals glittery. Yeah. So there's those. So yeah, that is what I will be working on for a little while today. Kind of get these finished up, and I always end up turning my molds the wrong side out. So then I have to play with them to get them back. I actually made the mistake one time, and most of your molds like this have this on the bottom because it helps stabilize it, helps it sit right. And dummy me poured it in there instead of in there. And so yeah, I just got this big blob with an X in it. So yeah, they're always fun to work with. You just gotta really pay attention to what you're doing. And of course, you always want to make sure your molds are clean, and because sometimes they can get excess, you know, if you put paint or mica powder or something like that in there, if it didn't all come off, then, you know, you have to make sure that's cleaned out of there before you go and pour another one so you don't get oddball colors. And of course, I want to do some more of the lanterns like I made for BOK that I sent to her. So I do want to do some more of those. I think those will be a good seller. But yeah, I actually went to the Goodwill yesterday, and this is kind of give you guys a hint on one of the next projects I might be working on. I used to do painting. I'm not a very good painter by any means. To me, a lot of my paintings, especially if I try to make animals or people, turn out to look like cartoons. Yeah. And so I kind of gave up on it. I lost confidence in myself. Instead of improving, I just kind of walked away from it, which I shouldn't have done, because they do classes around here in different places to teach you how to do that stuff better. And I should have. Hello, Captain Paper Planes. Happy New Year to you, too. Good to have you in here. But yeah, I gave up on the painting. But then I came across, and it does have to do with my resin stuff. I seen something yesterday where they take a painting canvas and either draw a design on it, and then they can they'll make like a almost like a peanut butter consistency out of plaster of Paris or concrete, like a light concrete mix, different things like that, molding clay, different things. And they'll make the design on the canvas, and then they gold or silver foil it, and then she uses all these gems and glitter things for the leaves on the trees, and I would imagine it's going to take some time to do those. That's probably not something that you really want to rush through a whole lot. But then as I was scrolling through watching those videos, I actually seen one where they took a puzzle of a lighthouse and just put the lighthouse part of the puzzle together, left all the rest of it off, and glued that onto their canvas. And then they used like little stones and jewels and stuff like that along the bottom to make like the sand or the land area. And then down farther, they went to like blue shiny jewels and stuff like that to make like the ocean. So I found that to be extremely fascinating. And of course, you know, putting the jewels on and stuff, they mix that in resin, which helps that stick on there. But then they do like almost like a pearl white, which is easy to do because you mix up your resin, then put like a pearl mica powder in your resin, and it'll give you that effect. And then she puts it up out around the lighthouse. Beautiful. So that's something different I want to try. I also color, but mostly use colored pencils. It's very therapeutic. Yeah, I've tried paints. I've done colored pencils. Like I said, most of the stuff I end up doing with those kind of things end up looking like little kid drawings or cartoons. I am very bad at drawing. So yeah, I don't do that a whole lot. That might be something I might get back into at some time. I don't know. Like I said, you know, they have classes around here that you can learn to improve, and there's nothing wrong with improving yourself on things. I think one of the first things that I drew and painted when me and my husband met was he had given me an acoustic guitar, and he told me it's not really playable. It was, but it wasn't. Simply because it was a very old guitar. And so it was, he said, if you want to turn it into a piece of artwork, you can do that. So I drew a scene on it where I just put like trees up along the side of the guitar and put a swing, you know, off the branches of the trees, I put a swing and put two little people on the swings, and took the whole of the guitar and did a white circle around it, and it actually looks like they're on the swing looking up at the moon. So it's very, it's cute. But like I said, you know, my people ended up looking sort of cartoonish. So yeah. I don't do a whole lot of that kind of stuff. Hello, Krishna. How are you, honey? Good to have you in here. So I was just unmolding some stuff that I had poured yesterday and just gabbing with everybody. So anybody got any big plans coming up? I think we're kind of done with the holidays. For now, thank goodness. It's a very busy time, and I kind of enjoy more of my peaceful times. So I do want to continue working on this stuff, the small stuff like that. To, like I said, to get stock build up on things. But I know some of you that are artists on here, you can probably contest to this. You can be working on something that holds your interest, and all of a sudden something else will come up, and oh, I'd love to try that, and your mind kind of wanders off onto that thing. So yes, mine does that a lot. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you, honey? Good to have you in here. Do any of you that are artists on here deal with that? I deal with it quite a bit, where your mind kind of wanders off on other projects that you see all of a sudden. Yep, Trini, I get you. And I have to, even if I make a big mess out of it, I have to at least try it once. Whenever I see something new, something different, I have to at least try it once. That's how I kind of got into resin, actually. I had been fascinated with it for a good while, and so I thought, well, I'll just get a small bottle and maybe one or two little molds. I actually had a gift card for Hobby Lobby, which, yeah, that's my store. I could literally move my clothes into Hobby Lobby and live there forever, and I would be a very happy woman. Yeah, I think I own probably half of Hobby Lobby already. That's why I needed this bigger space, and that's why I was over in two storage areas for a while before I got this area, because Hobby Lobby was taking over my house. Have you ever tried working with leather? No, I haven't. No. I've used leather on clothes before, but I have a couple shirts that I just thought I'd dress them up a little bit, so I would like cut down the sleeves and put little grommets on the sleeves, and then just put leather strips in there. So, but yeah, that's all I've done with leather. I always leave my current projects midway and move to new ones till I get my motivation back. See, that's how I am. My mind wanders so much on different things. I think the resin right now is probably one thing that has held my attention the longest. You can make anything with leather. That's actually my profession. Oh, that is awesome. Do you have anything on your channel that shows some of the stuff that you've made, Trini? If you do, I'll have to go check that out. I know I love watching Joy, a lot of her stuff that she does. Just, I guess art fascinates me with other people, how their minds work, where they come up with ideas for things. I'm sure some of it you get inspired by watching other people, what other people do. Um, but yeah, just when somebody can come up with something new on their own, just looking at something and you see something you can make out of it, that fascinates me as well. Felicia and I have a collaboration coming up this Saturday where we're creating farmhouse projects. Ooh, I will have to watch that, Miss Joy. That will be pretty cool. I like anything farmhouse, country. You can move me to the city, but I am a country girl at heart. Always have been, always will be. I grew up around farms and stuff like that, so yeah, I can't wait to see that. I will make sure I keep an eye out for that one. Do any of you have issues with spam callers? My phone rings probably 20, 30 times a day with spam callers. They are absolutely ridiculous. I wish they would make something. They claim that you can get on certain things and block those, which I have gotten on a few things claiming that they'll block them, but yeah, that only lasts for so long and then they show up again. Maybe I could do a video just for members seeing my channel is about food. You mean for your leather, with leather stuff? Because if that's what you're talking about, Trini, that would be awesome. I would love to see that. I'm just kind of filling in my holes with my domino set. They're a little bit sticky yet. So I'm just trying to keep them separated. Yeah, Trini, I'm subscribed to your channel. I've done so many memberships, I can't remember who I'm a member of their channel and who I'm not. I will have to check and see if I am a member on your channel. If not, I will definitely take care of that issue. Because I love watching cooking as well, so man, I am a foodaholic. Yeah, I absolutely love food. Different kinds of food. If you can show me a different thing to make, more than likely I am going to give it a try. Because I do love my food. That's probably why when me and my husband Michael met, I was and remember this was, well, we're not at 6 years yet. April 1st was when we first met. So April 1st will be 6 years that we met. And he is a big one on cooking as well. And when we met, I was a skinny little twig of a person. I weighed a whole whopping 119 pounds. Yeah, I was very small. And yeah, about 75 pounds later, here I am, and all that in 6 years, almost 6 years. So yeah, I don't mind saying my age, saying my weight. I am very proud of where I've come in my life, and I have no issue with the curves. My husband always says men have more fun on curves anyhow, so yeah. And I'm very proud of my age. I have fought long and hard to get to the older people party, and it's far better than the alternative of not making it there. So yes, I have never been one to bulk at telling somebody how old I am, or how much I weigh. That doesn't bother me. That's all part of life. So that's one thing I've never gotten offended if somebody asks me my age. I know some people always say, "Oh, you never ask a woman her age." Well, why not? Be proud of your age, because life is tough sometimes, and if you can get to that old people party, that's a good thing. That's something to be proud of. So everything good is always old, Melissa. Yep. I do believe that. I do believe that. I used to say I didn't start really showing my age until I hit about 45. Till I hit 45, I actually looked like I was in my 20s, early 30s yet. And then it kind of went downhill from there. Yeah. Oh well, it is what it is. But I used to say I was aging like fine wine. Now I'm aging more like spoiled milk. So it is what it is. But I'm sure you can even use spoiled milk for some things. So I actually noticed on some of my dominoes, I had tiny little bit of overrun. I don't know if you guys can see that on the edge. Just kind of put a little lip on the outside edge. And I actually have a tool coming, and it's just like a little knife type thing that I can slide along the edges of that and cut those off, clean them up a little bit so that's not sticking out. So I'm just waiting for that to get here. Trini, you're in your 50s. I'm 55, so I said 55 and a half. Yeah. So I'm my husband tells me that I'm still a young chick yet. Of course, he's 68. He just turned 68, so he feels like an old man. I don't know why, because he doesn't look his age. He definitely doesn't act his age. I shouldn't say that. I don't mean that as in he acts childish, but he doesn't act like he's 68. He does in a sense that he is very old school about a lot of things. Which I like, because to me, when a man is more old school, they tend to be more of a gentleman than what some of the younger. Now, don't come after me, guys, because I'm not talking everybody. I'm just saying on average, guys these days the younger generations tend to forget what being a gentleman is. And I think a lot of women would prefer that men go back to being true gentlemen, to remembering what that actually was. Yeah, I think a lot of women would be a lot happier if we would get some true gentlemen in this world back. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube, TikTok videos and stuff like that, I believe, where people are kind of questioning if people, like if men should go back and actually dress like men did a long time ago, suits when they go out. Ladies dress a little bit nicer when we go out in public, instead of wearing pajamas to go to the grocery store. People used to take great pride in how they dressed and how they looked, for something as simple as just running to the store and back. They would have to change clothing and but I think people took a lot more pride in themselves back then, when people cared about what they looked like out in public. I don't think enough people do anymore. I think the younger generation has kind of let that go. And I always said, whenever I worked at the fuel station, every day I was always very careful with what my clothing looked like, what my makeup looked like, my hair, everything like that. I know, I say that and then look at me today. But I'm up here in my own space today, so, but I was always very cautious with how I looked when I went out in public, especially dealing with the public, with work and everything, because me and my husband always believe that we are a reflection of each other. If I go out in public, even to the store or something like that, all the time, and I'm always looking tired, I always look a mess all the time, somebody's going to look at him and say, what are you doing to your wife that she looks like this all the time? So I want people to look at me and know my husband takes very good care of me, and I'm proud of that. And so I try to be, most of the time I try to be a little bit more careful with how I dress and how I look when I go out in public. But when I know I'm just coming up here doing this stuff, of course I should take into consideration if I'm going to go live. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I didn't really intend on going live today. I was just going to do a video, and I thought, well, I haven't gone live for a while, so maybe I'll do that instead. So, ta-da, here I am. So yeah, I will try to take that more into consideration, live by what I say. So, but I have been on here for almost an hour, guys, and that was a very quick hour. That went by really quick. So I'm going to jump off here, and I'm going to finish. I think I've got 5 dominoes left to do. I've done all the rest of them while I was sitting here talking to everybody. Yeah. Yes, Captain, I know, and I appreciate that. Um, in my own space, I don't really uh, take a whole lot of stock in what I look like because it's just me and Kevin. And Kevin loves me no matter what. Yeah. So I don't really think a whole lot about what I look like when it's just going to be me and him up here, anyhow. But if I think about going live next time, I will take into consideration not looking quite so unkempt. So, okay, but I am going to jump off of here, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. And like I always tell you guys, you know, if you can't see the sunshine, be the sunshine. So I am thankful for all of you guys that made it here today. You guys take care. Have a great day.